There's no way to prepare for Crispin Glover. That's what Michael J. Fox said about his co-star from Back to the Future. In his new memoir, the actor behind Marty McFly opens up about his friction with Glover and how it made filming one of the most iconic movies of the 1980s much more complicated than fans ever imagined. He even admitted that sometimes the confusion you see on Marty's face in the movie wasn't acting, it was real. So what really happened between Michael J. Fox and Crispin Glover on the set of Back to the Future? Let's dive into the story behind the tension, the respect, and the chaos that went on behind the camera. Back to the Future is one of those themes that defined a generation, a perfect blend of comedy, science fiction, and heart. Directed by Robert Zemeckis and starring Michael J. Fox as Marty McFly, it became an instant classic. But as Fox reveals in his book Future Boy, the experience of shooting it wasn't always as smooth as the final product looked on screen. One of the key challenges, working with Crispin Glover, the actor who played George McFly, Marty's awkward, quirky father. According to Fox, Glover had his own vision of how George should move, speak, and exist within the film. While most actors would follow the director's cues, Glover often followed his instincts. Fox recalls a particular scene where Glover was supposed to stand between him and a clothesline for the shot. Instead, Glover decided that his character should wander off, perpendicular to the camera. Fox writes, "As Crispin approached the camera, he was supposed to be situated between the clothesline and me. But Crispin had another plan. I think he saw George as a nomad, a free spirit traveling in random patterns, in this case perpendicular to the camera. In the end, the crew built a small pen made of sandbags and tripods, trapping him into accepting the parameters of the shot. It's almost comical, the idea of a Hollywood crew having to physically block an actor's movement just to keep him in frame, but it also shows how far Glover would go to express his version of the character." Fox admits that these moments created tension on set. Glover's unpredictability made it difficult to know how a scene would unfold. While Fox and Christopher Lloyd, Doc Brown, had a natural rhythm, Glover was an entirely different experience. Fox writes, "I knew Crispin before Back to the Future. I would not say, however, that I was prepared to act with him. There is no way to prepare for Crispin. With Chris Lloyd, I had an idea of what he was doing. Neither he nor Crispin did the same thing twice." That line, "There is no way to prepare for Crispin," perfectly captures the unpredictable nature of Glover's performance style. Yet, despite the friction, Fox doesn't trash Glover. In fact, he praises him in his own way. He says, "His methods sometimes created friction, but I respect him for how he was faithful to George, as he understood and represented him." That's a rare admission in Hollywood, acknowledging someone's eccentricity while still appreciating their craft. Fox understood that Glover's odd energy actually made George McFly more memorable. Perhaps the most fascinating revelation from Fox's book is that the on-screen confusion you see in Marty McFly was sometimes genuine. Fox reveals, "If you watch the movie and see Marty McFly looking puzzled at his father, it's not the character's fault. It's the actor himself trying to make sense of something." That line alone reshapes how fans might view the movie today. Every time Marty looks baffled by his father's behavior, maybe he wasn't just acting. He might have genuinely been trying to figure out what Glover was doing in that take. When you consider all of this, it becomes clear that the creative clash between Fox and Glover wasn't just conflict, it was part of what made Back to the Future so special. Glover's quirks brought authenticity to George McFly's awkwardness, while Fox's frustration gave Marty's reactions a real-world honesty. It's a reminder that behind every cinematic masterpiece are human imperfections, creative differences, and unpredictable chemistry. So the next time you rewatch Back to the Future, pay attention to those scenes between Marty and George. Look at Marty's puzzled expressions, the awkward energy in their interactions, and remember that behind those moments was a real human tension between two very different artists. Michael J. Fox and Crispin Glover may not have been the perfect match on set, but that friction, in a strange way, helped make Back to the Future the timeless masterpiece we still love today.